Hi, I'm David Manti, and welcome to a new episode of 5 Minutes with Cannabis Equipment News. With me today is Chris Webster, the Northwest Technical Sales Rep for Gusmer Enterprises. Thank you very much for joining me today, Chris.
Hey, David. Thanks for having me on.
Chris, what can you tell us about Gusmer Enterprises for those unfamiliar with the company?
Yeah, so Gusmer is a third-generation family-run manufacturer and provider of products across a multitude of industries. We're 100 plus years in the making. We have three manufacturing locations across the country, on the East Coast in Hickory, North Carolina, the Midwest in Waupaca, Wisconsin, and on the West Coast in Fresno, California, with our headquarters being out of Mountainside, New Jersey. Really, at Gusmer, the employees are the backbone of the company. At each of our manufacturing sites, we have a gifted team of tradesmen, engineers, material scientists, all supported by a strong team of research and development, as well as quality experts. On the technical side, we have our sales and support team that are really spread out throughout the country. And each of those team members comes with their own unique blend of experience, typically from the industries by which we support. We work, because we are, spread out throughout the country, we're able to work with our customers on site to offer incredible support and service. And on service, our motto is service with knowledge. And we put service first because we really do care most about providing a good experience for our customer base. And we do that through a consultative, sales approach, and focusing on building the partnerships as opposed to just a sales paradigm.
Gusmer is known as a trusted legacy manufacturer and provider of filtration products. What spaces does Gusmer operate?
Yeah, as mentioned earlier, we support a lot of different industries. Gusmer is really known in the beverage space, and so we've really built a name for ourselves in the brewing, wine, and the distilled spirits industries, and really across all alcoholic beverage industries. But we also support other beverage industries such as cold brew coffee, sports and energy drinks, and probably really applicable to the viewership of this is the infused beverage and nutraceutical industries. Outside of beverage, we have a pretty large presence in the pharmaceutical industries, flavor and fragrances, cosmetics, and also applicable to the viewership here is essential and edible oils industries. So we're not just talking about olive oil, which we do support, but seed oils. And that's really, as this industry has begun to change, we also are finding ourselves involved in much more extraction of cannabinoids from plant-based materials.
Why should people choose Gusmer for filtration and beverage support?
Well, I think first and foremost, Gusmer is a domestic U.S. manufacturer and provider of products. If we learned anything during the pandemic of the early 2020s, is that it really highlighted the importance of a really robust supply chain. In fact, many of the new business opportunities that we had came out of the ashes of the pandemic because we were able to get products to people faster.
Finally, Chris, what would be the one piece of advice that you would give customers that are interested in getting involved with filtration?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I'd say probably don't focus on price of the product, but focus more on systems with universal setups. As we mentioned before, the pandemic caused a lot of headaches across multiple industries, and many of those headaches were caused because people didn't have universal systems in place. So when one supplier is in charge of your entire throughput through your company, if they have a supply chain challenge, your entire operation is shut down. So if the one major piece of advice I'd give to people is focus on universal systems.
No, I think that's a great piece of advice, Chris. And thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you.
All right. For Chris Webster, I'm David Manti. This has been 5 Minutes with Cannabis Equipment News, and we will see you next time.
For more information, go to gusmerenterprises.com. Click on Contact Your Rep and then choose your state. The technical sales representative in your region will then be selected. Gusmer Enterprises, service with knowledge since 1924.